I hear again and again from people that they try to figure out what niche they need to go into to build a successful business. And I'm going to tell you that that is a backwards approach. And as we lay the foundation here, we're going to do it with what I call the 7 keys of success. Get your notepads out, make sure you got a pen handy. We're going to go relatively even pace through this, but I'm going to get you warmed up because we get into content later. We're going to be hitting you with a lot of information quickly. So let's go ahead and talk about the 7 keys of success. Number 1, dream. You have to have a dream. And that dream should be little. No. That dream should be medium size. No. That dream should be big, monstrous, huge, ginormous. Why not? What have you got to lose from dreaming big? Because I guarantee if you're just dreaming small, that's all you're going to get is small. You want to dream big. You know, people compliment me for being an entrepreneur. And they tell me they admire me for my entrepreneurial spirit. And I say, no, you don't get it. I'm an entrepreneur by default. I should have a hat or a t-shirt that says doesn't work well for others. Who can relate to that? Everybody here, right? You know, oh, it's not that I can't do a good job. Oh, I can do a good job. I'll go in and I'll work hard and I will be the best employee they've had. Believe me, I've been there. But then I see how they're doing something at this place and I think, you know, there's a better way to do that. And I have this bad habit of going to my superiors and suggesting that perhaps they might look at changing the way they do things. They don't like that. No. And so I admire people who are able to be in that type of position and stick with a job and deal with upper management that might not be totally with it. But I can't work for big companies, so I'm an entrepreneur by default. If I'm not doing this, then you know I may be a homeless guy. I don't know. When I was in college, I was between my sophomore and junior year, and one of my family members suggested to me that I should try out to be a DJ on the local radio station. And I love music, and you know, this voice, right? This is the voice God gave me, and apparently it's good on the radio. I didn't think of it, but I went and I auditioned, and I got a job. And all of a sudden, I'm a DJ, and I'm living this passion of enjoying music and being on the radio, which, by the way, I got to tell you, is not all it's cracked up to be. Not the music part, the radio part. Anybody done radio broadcasting before? Have you played music? I mean, all you get to do is announce the songs that came up and do the weather and the traffic, and you're done. There's nothing to it. But I then had this dream of getting out where people were and becoming a mobile DJ. And I thought, wow, this is a way I could be entrepreneurial. And I bought all the equipment, and I went out there, and I didn't know what I was doing, but I started knocking on doors, and before you know it, I became a mobile DJ and built a business that helped support my family. Ken told you a little bit about the history of Infomedia, and when I met Ken and we did the software review on a disc, one of the writers to my magazine suggested that I take the articles we were doing in HTML and put them on the World Wide Web. This is 1994, to which my response was, HTML, World Wide Web, what are you smoking? Had no idea what he was talking about, and it wasn't until Ken and I went to the Consumer Electronics Show in Vegas in January of 1995 that the lights went on. It was a big bulb too, you know, like that. Oh, okay, we get it. And we built the website, and when we built the website, we had a dream. And that dream was of building a content-rich site that would be appropriate for families. There was, even back then, there was enough garbage on the internet, if you can believe that. If you think it's bad now, I mean, it was even then. And we wanted to build a software review site that would be reviews from a parent's perspective so that parents could know, you know, what are the games that my kids are playing. And we had a dream, and we didn't know what we were doing. There was no road. You know, imagine when the pioneers came to Colorado and they saw those out there. Okay, what do we do now? Right? They had to blaze a trail. They had to make a dirt path through there initially and find their way. Now we got highways. Well, in 1995, we didn't even have that dirt path. You guys now, you got I-70 that can take you from here to Breckenridge in 1 hour. Wow, what a difference. We didn't know what we were doing. We built worldvillage.com. In 1998, I was passionate about online shopping. You ladies can probably relate to me. Maybe some of you guys too. I figured out that you could save money online instead of buying offline. In fact, a lot of these companies were offering crazy coupons if you would just go sign up with them. I remember drugstore.com would offer a $10 coupon for anybody who would spend $10. See, I did the math. Thought, this is a good thing. Pets.com did it. Staples did it. All these stores. And this is when DVDs were getting big. And I found a place called checkout.com. And if you use this coupon, you could save 55% on DVDs, up to 30 in your cart. I shopped twice. I bought 60 DVDs because I loved the discount. And I thought, if I like shopping online and saving this money, I'll bet others do too. So I had a dream. I'm going to build a bargain hunter site. And I want this site to be frequented by thousands and thousands of people. And Deal of Day was born. And today the site is 9 years old. We get 500,000 visitors each and every month. Is that cool? I think that's pretty cool too. But we had a dream. And that dream came from something that sprung within. I cared about saving money online, so I wanted to build a resource that would help others save money online. I cared about producing content that would be good for my family and for my kids, so I built a website that would do that. I cared about music and entertainment, so I became a DJ. You see a theme? See the theme? Yes. Thank you, because a lot of people don't go at it that way. And now, I've had a dream to become a speaker and an author. Hello? And how did I get on the New York Times bestseller list, you might ask? Tell you more about that tomorrow. My passion now is to create content that makes a difference in people's lives. Because if we're not making a difference in other people's lives, if we're just going at it for the dollar, what's the point? I remember that I read a couple quotes from the senior Rockefeller in the family, and he was asked, how much money is enough? And his answer was, just $1 more. Then he was asked, how much are you going to leave when you die? You know what his answer was? All of it. We can't take it with us. It's only what we do here in our lives on this earth. And they're going pretty quick. I mean, I remember just having a baby boy, and now he's standing around here somewhere. The camera, he's 16 years old. I'm like, when did that happen? And a lot of you can relate to that. It goes quickly. So my goal now is to make a difference, and I'm passionate about that. And I love the fact that I can get up here and talk and share. And my goal is to help ignite or fuel that passion that you've got in you so that you've got direction and clarity on how you're going to build a business online. There's my goal, make a difference in others' lives each day. And I hope that you'll make that your goal as well. Let's bring it home. What's it mean to you? Number one, you have to discover your passion. You may know it, you may not. You may be in a puzzling place right now. What I want you to do is take your pen and your paper and write down 3 things you're passionate about. Everybody write down 3 things. If you can't think of 3, that's fine, but write down 3 things. Some of you might be able to fill a whole page. This is the thing that makes your heart beat. This is the thing that makes you get out of bed in the morning. This is the thing that if you had to do it the rest of your life, you'd be, you know what? That's cool. I'm good with that. Barry, what'd you write?
Scriptures, law, and marketing.
Say it one more time.
Scriptures, law, and marketing.
Scriptures, law, and marketing. Do you think there's anybody else out there interested in the scriptures? How about a show of hands? I think so. How about law? Raise your hand. How about marketing? Okay, every hand. What did you write down? Being a good parent. Anybody interested in being a good parent? Mm-hmm. What'd you write?
Communication, psychology, and intellect.
Psychology. Anybody think that they're out there interested in psychology? Which, by the way, everybody interested in psychology, raise your hand. Look around, because these are some people you're going to want to network with and potentially joint venture with, because they're interested too. Basically, what we're saying is we want to do business together. If there's that many people in this room that are interested in what your niche is, think how many people are out there. And because the internet is about information and delivering content, and because you have a twist on your topic that nobody else has. Yeah, there's other people out there that are interested in psychology, but I'll bet you've got an angle. I bet you got a way you come at it that's different from everybody else. And yeah, you're interested in law, but I'll bet you got a little angle that sets you apart from everybody else. We don't want to be like everybody else. We want to find out what that thing is that makes us distinct and make that what's going to stand out. Am I right? Yeah. You got to know your passion. Thing is, your passions can mature and change over time. I began by having a mobile DJ business, and I was passionate about that, and that was great for a season. Then I became passionate about the internet and building content sites for parents. And then I wanted to build a shopping site. I got passionate about that, and now I'm passionate about writing and speaking. That's fine. You can keep changing. I heard somewhere that people change careers, 7 times in their life? I think I'm already past that. But that's good, because as long as you're passionate about it and you're digging in and you're giving it your all, it's a good thing. Think big. Think how? Big. Got to think big. It starts right there. So whatever that big dream is, you got to latch on to that. Number 2, you have to believe. If you put your dream out there, and by the way, when I say out there, I'm not talking about the law of attraction. I'm talking about law of intention. Deciding that this is what you're going to do. You want to attract something, then get out there and work for it. You want to attract people that are in your niche, get around people who are going to be in your niche. It's going to take work. You got to believe. What do you do with $1.37 in your bank account? Not much. That is what Mary and I had left in our checking account about 7 or 8 months into launching Infomedia. Ken Burge had left to go work with the evil empire, Microsoft. And he had to support his family, and even though we believed and we had this dream, we weren't bringing in the kind of revenue that would support both of our families. And it got to the point where I had $1.37 left in my account. There's only one thing you can do when you've got $1.37 left in your account, and that's believe. And for me, that belief looked a little something like this. Oh, God! I'm out of money. You think I'm joking? I'm not joking. And the prayer went a little something like this. We're out of cash. I thought this is what I was supposed to do, and if you want me to keep doing it, you're going to have to drop the money out of heaven. Now, whatever you believe is fine. I'm not here to preach to you. This is my particular belief, and this was the way I had to come at it, that I believed if somebody was going to provide, it clearly wasn't going to be me. It was going to have to be God. And then I waited, but I believed. Within a week, 1 week, I received an email from a gentleman in Seattle who I never met, representing a Japanese media conglomerate that I had never heard of by the name Takarajamisha. Say that. Good luck. Takarajamisha Inc. And he told me they were interested in taking the content we had on World Village. They wanted to license it and localize it into Japanese. Well, I'm thinking to myself, well, this would be good for a couple $100 a month. I'm on the phone with him. And at that moment, I did one of the wisest things I've ever done. I shut up. And he talked. And he said, they would like to offer you $5,000 a month to localize your content. And of course, I'm on the phone, taking it in stride. That would probably work. Actually ended up being $7,500 a month. And it took me anywhere from 5 to 6 hours each month to prepare the content to send to them. I believed. The answer came. You got to believe, especially when times get tough. What about when the market goes bust? We were making a lot of money online up until 2000. I mean, the cash was flowing like milk and honey. It was an amazing thing. People were coming to the websites. Affiliate programs were paying huge bounties. That drugstore.com program I told you about, they would offer the customers $10 off their first purchase of $10 or more. And every time we sent a customer to them, they paid us a $10 bounty. In 4 weeks, we made $30,000 from bounties for basically giving away free stuff from drugstore.com, and that was just one of them. The money was mad, crazy money. And then the bubble went. Who remembers the pain of that? Oh, sorry to bring back bad memories, but there was a very legitimate reason that happened. Because back then, investors, venture capitalists, were throwing millions of dollars at absolutely anything with a .com at the end of it. Anything. I kid you not, you could have registered monkeyunderwear.com and raised $5 million in capital. Very possible. It was nuts. It was this craze, and they just wanted in on it, and they didn't even understand why. But the problem was there was no real business models. There was no way for so many of these companies to make any money. And inevitably, as the market went, it can only go so far. And of course, we're experiencing that again right now because of the real estate market. The bubble went boop, and all of a sudden, the ad revenue just dried up like the Sahara Desert. I'm having a flashback. It's okay, I'll get over it. From 2000, late 2000 to early 2004, I had laid off everybody, including myself. Fortunately, we had made some money from the salad years there. Also, I had this little deal where I sold a site to a company you may have heard of, Yahoo. I think you guys are familiar with that. And we had some money in the bank. But I remember at the beginning of 2004, Mary, who you guys make sure you meet if you haven't, she's here. Are you in the back of the room, hon, somewhere? She's not even in the room. Oh. She's at the spa. Yeah, she has heard it all before. We'll edit that. She, where was I? Yes, Mary. Yes, we were eating mac and cheese. Mary said at the January of 2004, so how long are we going to keep going through our savings? Because it's dwindling. And she was right. And I said, you know what? I believe that this is going to come back again. I know it in my heart, in my gut, in my soul, in my toes. I know that the internet's, this is coming back, and I got to stick with it. But I'll tell you what, I will give it until mid-year, June 30th. If by June 30th of 2004 I do not see a turn in the trend, then I don't know what I'll do. Something. Yes, How to Withstand the Collapse of the Bubble by Joel Comm. I believed. And I believed. And you know what I'm talking about when you got that feeling in your gut and you know it's right and the voices around you are telling you, oh, no. Sometimes the closest voices, right? Family and friends telling you, that's not going to work. You can't do that. Who do you think you are? You know what I say to them? You don't listen to that. If you got a dream and you're willing to believe, then you're willing to see it through. And you just got to shut those voices out. In April 2004, I was sitting in a conference room very much like this one. 9 months previously, Google had come out with their AdSense program, and this is where you can put ads on your site, and Google would pay you for every click that comes from that site. And I know many of you have heard me talk about AdSense at other conferences. When I started with the program and I put code on my page, I thought, oh, this is going to be it. Things are coming back. Google's paying out money. Here it comes. $2. Tomorrow's going to be better. $1.50. This isn't working. What's next? And I let it go. But in April 2004, I'm sitting right about where you are. And the guy next to me has got his laptop open. That would be you. And I looked over on his laptop. He had his AdSense report open. And he was making $200+ a day. I was like, huh? Really? And he said, uh-huh. Well, That day, sitting in the conference room with the live internet connection, I began modifying and testing my AdSense blocks. I began testing the color schemes of the blocks. I began testing the block sizes because they're tall, short, fat, little, big, squares, all kinds. I began testing where to put them on the page. I had, up to that point, been making about $20 a day, peaking with AdSense. And that day, I went up to $85. The next day, well, I thought, I'm onto something. The next day, $100. More fine tuning, more working on it. By May, I'm making $200 plus a day, just like he was. And I thought, this is good. I don't have to go sell encyclopedias again. By a few months later, I had tested so much and fine tuned my AdSense so almost perfectly on my pages that I was peaking out at $1,000 a day. And to this day, we still average $800 a day in passive income with Google AdSense. I don't do a thing. It just keeps coming in. They told me I should have brought my pennies. I left the pennies back. It's like the jar was really heavy, but I love, who remembers the penny jar? Who saw the penny jar? Oh, yeah. I believed it would come back, and I was willing to tough it out. You got to believe. And what happens when you're alone with your big dream? Well, we talked about the voices of those who aren't going to support you. Again, you believe. And you believe that there's others out there that would share that dream. And as we go on this morning, I'm going to be able to share some stories. But most recently, Ken coming back into my life, sharing the dream after going down the road that he went down for a time and getting trained like he had. Wait till you hear him teach after me. The man is absolutely brilliant and amazing. You're going to just love what he's got to share with you. But time and time again, finding people to joint venture with so I'm not alone in the dream, you got to believe and push through. What's it mean to you? You have to believe that there's a plan and a purpose for your life. Write it down. You are no accident. And you being here is no accident, no lark, no mistake. I believe our steps are ordered to some degree, and we are here. I'm here for a reason. Of course, the stage would look really empty if I wasn't. You have to believe that there's a plan, a purpose, and it's to do more than one thing, and it's to be who you are. Surround yourself with people who believe in your dream. Those people who tell you you can't, they might be family and friends that you love, but you don't have time or space to listen to what they've got to say. Not if they're being negative, not if they won't support you and believe you. It's your dream, and who are they to tell you you can't do it? People like that like to bring other people down because they're not living their dream. You know what? If I can't live mine, then who are you to succeed? It's unfortunate but true. Who knows people like that? Isn't that sad? Isn't that sad? And you know what? When you have an opportunity to support somebody else's dream, do it. And no matter how crazy they sound, unless they're endangering their lives or somebody else's lives. And even then, if it's their dream to skydive, well, you know what? Yeah, Godspeed. Make sure that parachute works. Believe in their dream too. And you have to believe that there is a destiny of success for you. Everybody in this room, I believe, is created by God with talents, abilities, personality, character, skills, knowledge, looks, that when you put it together in the package that is you, you are unlike anybody else in the world that ever was or ever will be. You're unique. Turn to your neighbor and say, I'm unique. Just like everybody else. But you are. It's true. There's not another you. And I know it can sound trite, but let that sink in. That's it. Nobody's put together like me. And I am designed with these skills and talents and abilities and personality, and I bring value to the world. I am valuable, and I bring value. What you know and what you're able to do and who you are is designed to bring value to other people's lives. We're not made to be an island, to be alone. If I'm not adding value, then What am I doing? What's the point? I'm just making noise. And I'll submit this to you. If you are not using your talents, skills, abilities, your personality, who you are to add value, then you are doing the world a disservice. You are holding out. And that's not to shame you. That's to maybe awaken and say, you know what? This doing all this stuff for myself so that I can have all these things, maybe this isn't working. Maybe there's a greater calling for me. Believe that if you are made for a reason and you do the things that would apply to that reason, then you're going to have success. It's like saying to a watch, don't keep time. But that's what I was made to do. I don't care, don't keep time. It's going to keep ticking anyway unless I pull that battery out. Well, when our lives are over, our batteries are out. Until then, you keep ticking and you do what you're made to do. Number 3, you have to prepare. We've got our dream, we believe, and now we got to pack our bags for where we're going. Just like you had to pack your bags to come here and get ready to attend Elevate, get ready for this flight, this excursion, you got to pack your bags in life. So I researched a bit to become a DJ. I went out and I bought a book on DJing. What equipment should I buy? How do I market myself? And the beautiful thing is you don't have to know everything about what you're doing. In fact, I would suggest that most of the time we haven't a clue what we're doing, but at least we can try. We're like the bumblebees. Who knows the bumblebee syndrome? Bumblebee weighs too much to fly. Did you know that? Aerodynamically, it is too heavy for its wings to carry it. Does it care? I hate those things too. I mean, I'm glad we have them. They're good for the flowers, but I hate bees. And my daughter especially, when she's around a bee, she's ah! I had to prepare to become a DJ. I had to have some clue, and I went out there and I did it. Some of you know that in a previous life, I sold encyclopedias. Yes, Britannicas. Ma'am, could I interest you in this lovely 26-volume padded leather set? No? Don't you care about your children's education? They're online. A good answer. Now, in fact, that is why Britannicas no longer have a sales force that goes door to door. Because you can get encyclopedias online, you can get them cheap on CD. They basically killed the direct sales industry because of technology. But before I went knocking on doors, I had to figure out, how do I sell? Zig Ziglar's Secrets of Closing the Sale. Write it down. If you don't have it, you haven't read it. It is timeless. Now, it's dated in that he's talking a lot more about person-to-person direct sales, eyeballing people on the phone, but a lot of the techniques and strategies that are used, we apply today to our copy and to our call center. Zig Ziglar is one of my heroes. In fact, he was the guy, I went to see him speak at it was a Born to Win conference. It was the first inspirational seminar I went to. I must have been 22 years old, and when I saw him up there speaking and I was inspired, I thought, one day I want to be on a stage like that. Can I let you know a secret? Sure. At that point, public speaking terrified me. No, you don't understand. Terrified. Like, I can't go do this. I'm going to freak out. It was awful. So I thought to myself, what kind of vision is that, to be wanting to be up there if I'm terrified of it? I had problems in my speech communications class in college. I had note cards, and there was maybe 8 people in the class, and they're all looking at me, and I am just get me through this, because I want to die right now. But I had vision back then, and when I look at what's happened over the past few years, this year I had the opportunity to speak for Chris Howard, Harv Eker, Mark Victor Hansen, and Tony Robbins. Does it get any better than that? And I wish I've got something that's like just about to happen, and I can't tell you yet because I haven't got confirmation yet. Maybe I'll get an email today and they'll tell me, and then I can tell you. Point is, I had to prepare to do sales. I had to know something about AdSense before writing a book. If I had just come out of nowhere and said, you can make all this money with AdSense, what credibility would I have? But when my page says I went from $30 a day to over $500 a day in AdSense and you can too, it's believable. Whether they believed it or not, it was true. And now I had the information and the data to share with people. You got to prepare. You got to be ready to share what you know. And we did this crazy thing last year. How many heard of the Next Internet Millionaire? Oh, great. Thanks. You know, some ideas we have, you just don't know what you're getting into. And in January of last year, I was in the shower. It's where I get my best ideas. I don't know. I should probably spend all my time showering and just brainstorming stuff. I would be the cleanest brainstormer in the world. I don't know. It's the water. Maybe it's a purification thing, or maybe it hitting your head, stimulating the synapses. I don't know. And I called up Eric Homeland, who I had done some successful joint ventures with previously, and I said, I heard you told me you wanted to get into video. I got an idea. Why don't we do the world's first competitive internet reality show? And he so stupidly said yes. He didn't know what he was getting into. It basically consumed most of the year, and I'm so glad we did it, and it just turned out great, and it's been a fantastic branding tool, and we are still, one of our agents is still in negotiations with a potential cable channel to actually pick it up and shoot a season, so we'll see what happens. But before we did that, you can bet we had to research a little bit about equipment. We had to bring on people. In fact, we've got several people that were on the set. Dan and the guys back in the control room, Fletcher and Chris, they were there. They experienced this whole thing. We had to have talented, gifted people to pull this off. If we hadn't prepared, there would have been no show. But we did, and there was. And honestly, the list of projects and things that we do goes on. And the point is, you got to prepare. So what's it mean to you? Commit yourself to being armed with the absolute best and latest knowledge on your topic. Read, watch videos, go to conferences, interact with other people, ask questions. You can never ask too many questions, and there are no stupid questions. Although I did hear Jim Edwards say from the stage one time, there are no stupid questions, only stupid people who ask stupid questions. But he has a way of insulting people, so he can't help it. Gotta love Jim. There are no stupid questions. Ask, always ask. And know your stuff. And you have to invest in yourself continually. There are success principles that apply to every niche. And if it is your area of passion, your area of interest, make sure you are fully armed. We get courses on a regular basis. Ken will see that somebody's launching a product. Say, can you get that? So let me go check it out. There's a software tool that comes out. We need to investigate that. Don't think that because we've hit a place where we're bringing in several $1 million a year that we're like, okay, we're done. We got nothing we can learn. On the contrary, the more we know, the more we discover that there is to know, and we're always finding people who have new ways of using pay-per-click, of getting their sites optimized for the search engines, of using social media, and we just sponge it up. And so continually, always be learning. Got to be prepared. Dream, believe, prepare. Number 4, act. A lot of people get stuck right here on this one. Because if you don't take action, what happens? Nothing. Zip, zilch, zero, nada, bupkis. Nothing. And I cannot tell you, all right, we're all guilty of this. Let's be honest. Who has bought a product, being very excited about it, and then put it on the shelf and done nothing with it? All right, guilty as charged. I think we all are, because we're excited about what can be, but when it comes to actually doing, it's like, wait, you mean I thought if I open this box, then the angels would sing and money would just come pouring out of it. Oh, it's not working. Well, neither are you. And this is why I'm excited about you guys being here, because just the fact that you're here shows you're willing to take action. And I got to tell you, nothing would break my heart more than if you did not apply what you learned here over this 3 days. I want to see a success story out of each and every person in this room. I expect it. because we're going to give you our best. And I want you to put your best out there. You don't have to know how to do stuff to take action. I did not know how to run a DJ business. I went out and I bought turntables and some music, and I knew I could wiki, 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 like that. And I went to apartment complexes. This is in Dallas. There's tons of apartment complexes, and this is the mid to late 80s. And, the economy's doing well, and I thought, I can come. I called their, whatever their cruise director would be at the apartment complex and said, you guys have any pool parties? I can come and DJ for $50 an hour, whatever it was. Oh, that'd be great. Oh, okay. So I came out, and then I started knocking on more doors. And before you know it, I'm doing pool parties as a DJ every weekend. And then pretty soon, the people at the parties, they come up to me saying, we're getting married. Would you come DJ our wedding? Sure. Do I have to dress up? Yeah. So, got dressed up in the tux and the bow tie and everything, and now I'm doing that. I didn't know how to do it. I took action. I put myself out there. So don't let the fear of, I'm not sure what to do next, stop you from doing something every day, some action. I did not know how to sell encyclopedias. I really did not. I read Zig's book, but when they said, okay, here's your leads, call them and make appointments, and then take the book, and they gave us a book that was all the words and pictures were on it, and we were supposed to put it in front of people and just flip through it and read it to them. And they had this big broadside, this spread you would put on their table that showed this lovely full-color picture, glossy, of all the encyclopedias, and you're supposed to go through the presentation, and that's how they train you. Basically, answer the ad in the paper, they give you the kit, and they go throw you up against the wall. And if you stick, good for them. If not, a lot of companies are like that. I didn't know how to do it, and I went out there and I went through the dog and pony show anyway, and I didn't sell anything. In fact, I was 6 weeks into it, and I went and sat down with my manager, Victor Picconi. Victor's from Long Island, a real Italian fella. And he said, Joel, I think you can do this. Somewhere there's a catch in your brain, but you stick with this. I see these guys come through here. You got it. You can do this. He said, take these leads to East Texas. Go for the weekend, get away, go visit them, see what you can do. And I came back the next Monday, and I came in his office, and I had this face and he was like, oh, no. And then I went, bam, and slammed down 4 orders on his desk. You know what I did that weekend that was different? I got outside the box. That little thing they had me reading off of, I sat down and I talked to people and I asked them questions and I found out what their needs were for them and their family, and then I just showed them the book and how it met that need. It was so simple and uncomplicated. Just be yourself and some amazing things could happen. Had no idea how to sell encyclopedias. I did it anyway. I didn't know how to build a software review business or get on the internet. But along with Ken's help, we did it anyway. We were on a web host in Dallas that was on what was the bandwidth of that pipe? It was like dial-up. It was terrible. And that was our first website, and we put it up, and it looked atrocious. And by today's standards, it would look like, the next door neighbor's 5-year-old kid built it. But sorry, no offense. But it was what it was, and we did it anyway. Took that action. I didn't know how to sell a company to Yahoo for 7 figures. No idea. How do you go about selling a company and negotiating with a giant, a behemoth of the industry? I contacted AOL, Excite, Lycos, all these search engines, and I couldn't figure out how to sell it to them. And it wasn't until one day I got an email from Yahoo, them contacting me and having to fly out to San Jose several times, doing the back and forth with them, negotiating. Didn't know how to do it. Took action, did it anyway. A couple years back, I saw a site in the UK where these kids had it called the 1,000-word page. These kids took 1,000 words and they put them on the page, and these are all different niche words. And they said, we will sell you a word on the page for X, whatever it was, $10, $20, $30, and we will link to your site. It was a gimmicky thing. Who remembers the pixel page? People bought pixels. No value to that at all. And I saw that and I thought, you know what? What if we did something like that, but we added value? I didn't know how to do it. Called a developer. Can you build something similar, only make the keywords link directly to their page so they get search engine benefit? He said, yep. I said, how long will it take you? He said, 1 week. In 1 week, we had 500words.com up and running. Did a promotion for it, told my people that I was going to promote the page, that it would get Google PageRank, and that they would get traffic. And in 72 hours, we made $75,000 from that site. Is that cool? I think that's pretty cool, too. Thank you. I try not to do gimmicky things, but sometimes when opportunity knocks, you just got to open that door. And the naysayers said that page will not sustain Google PageRank. It will get banned from the search engines. It will get no traffic, and it will send no traffic. To this date, it is a PageRank 4 over 2 years later, and traffic still comes to it, and people still get search engine benefit from it because we did it right. Did I know how? No. Clueless. Did it anyway. And I did not know how to write an ebook and get on the New York Times bestseller list. I really didn't. When my goal to write the ebook was because my friends told me this is good information, you should share it with others, you could probably sell it. I figured if I could make $10,000 total off this ebook, I'd have it made. It went explosive. Some affiliates started promoting it, and the people that they knew that were affiliates picked up on it, and they started promoting it. We sold thousands of copies of AdSense Secrets because I was willing to take action, put up a lousy sales page, and tell a true story that would add value to people's lives. A true story. And I get testimonials all the time. Every day on Facebook, I have new people adding me as friend. Read your book, thanks so much. And I'm not so great, I'm just a regular guy. But I took my gifts, talents, and abilities and used them in such a way that resonated with people and blessed their lives. And there's no reason that you either aren't or can't do the same thing. What's this mean to you? Entrepreneurs take risks. Are you an entrepreneur? Yep. You're going to take risks. There's no two ways about it. And you have to be prepared. Say, you know what? This might fail. Believe me, I have had some failures. We don't go putting those on the sale page, right? Joel Comm, whose last ebook sold only $500 worth, now offers that. We don't put our supposed failures out there. And besides that, what are failures really but discovering another way to not do something? If you hit a home run every time, you're way better than Babe Ruth, because that man struck out an awful lot. So be prepared to fail. And if you do, fail fast. Turn to your neighbor and say, fail fast. Fail fast. Get it over with. It's painful. It hurts. Just some of you heard the story before. I decided it would be a good idea a couple of years ago to build a website that would be a greeting card site where people could send cards to each other on the internet and then forward them to other people and be really viral. And it was based on the concept of, you ready for this? What's up? Thought, wouldn't this be funny if we got celebrities and animals and all that doing what's up? And they can send it to other people. So we built the site. I paid a Flash developer a couple $1,000s or so to do it. And there, one of the cards was Hillary Clinton at a podium. What's up? I thought it was funny too. I could not get any traffic and get anybody to use this stupid site. It's still there today. Virtual-whasup.com. If you want a good laugh, WHASSUP. Virtual-whasup.com. I keep it. It's not for sale. It is a marker for me for what not to do. And if I look at why I shouldn't have done it, first of all, it was a lark. It distracted me from that which I really needed to be doing, because there was other things that were more significant, more profitable, had more promise. But, we entrepreneurs, a lot of us are accused of being ADD. And, look at the butterfly. Ooh, that's nice. What are you eating? Yeah, something smelling here? We're distracted. The law of distraction, right? So, don't get distracted, but if you're going to fail, do it quickly, get it over with, right? It's like the bandage. Just rip it off. Okay, I'm all better now. I think it's fear that keeps us from taking action. It really is, because if we open that box and we try this thing and we actually do what it says, what if it doesn't work? Oh, the disappointment. It's so much easier to just leave it over here and not face that disappointment. Not anymore. In fact, I want to pledge from everybody in this room by a show of hands, are you willing to take very specific action? Excellent. You got to do it. It's the only way something's going to happen. You overcome fear by taking action. Number 5, dream, believe, prepare, act, relate. Number 5. Got to relate. The bottom line is we're not made to do this on our own. And I would not be where I am today if we're not blessed by the relationships and friendships that I've got. There's no way I could think I could do this on my own. I've got an incredibly talented group of people that work at my company that are able to do this. Some of which you'll see speak, but some of the most talented people are the ones that you don't see speak. The ones that are willing to do the administrative tasks, the ones that behind the production. If it were up to me, nothing would happen. If it weren't for the love of my wife and my kids and my friends and my associates, it wouldn't happen. It's all about people. It's all about people. I remember being in LA in, this would have been March of '06. And I went to Yannick Silver's Underground Conference. Anybody been to Yannick's conferences before? Great conference. He tends to find people that are under the radar, that are making money online, and brings them in to speak. And as I was walking around, I wasn't there to speak, I was just attending, this long-haired hippie freak-looking guy with blonde hair walks by and he hands me a flyer. It says JV with Eric. His name is Eric Homeland. And Eric and I start talking, and I discover that we share a lot of the same values and faith. And he says, Joel, if I can ever help you with something, then can I let you know? I said, absolutely. Which, by the way, that's key. Cannot tell you how many times I've been to conferences and people walk up to me. First, they shake my hand. Hey, great to meet you. Here's my card, and I'm launching this product on such and such date. How does that make me feel? How would it make you feel? Used. I mean, basically what it says is, hey, I know you. You've got a big list, right? And if you mail out for me, then I'll make a lot of money. That's not the way to introduce yourself to people. It's not the way to interact. Always ask first, what value can I add for you? Eric came to me, found out a little bit about me. We interacted on a human level, not on a business level, and then said, if I can ever help you. 2 weeks later, he sends me an email, says, let's talk. I said, okay. He's got an idea because I have all these customers that want to make money with AdSense, but so many of them are stuck at the action phase because they don't know how to build a website. He said, Joel, why don't we create some professionally designed templates that'll be used in multiple formats that are very flexible, that all people have to do. It's even got the AdSense blocks on there. All they have to do is add content to it. We'll call it Instant AdSense Templates. I said, that sounds like a great idea. And he carried the weight on that JV with my approval for the designs according to my specs. And in July of that year, we sold $300,000 worth of Instant AdSense Templates. In October of that year, we launched the second edition and learned a little something about continuity programs. That is where people will pay you each month. We also learned about upsells, that if people will purchase something one time, they'll buy more a second time, especially if you give them a good deal. And in 5 days period, on a $197 product, we sold over $1 million in Instant AdSense templates. That's pretty cool. What did I do? I made myself accessible, available. I went to a conference, and the gentleman interacted with me on a human level, and we struck up a relationship, and there was a very successful joint venture. There never would have been a Next Internet Millionaire reality show if I hadn't met Eric. Los Angeles, maybe the city of angels after all. Actually, I've got them flip-flopped. I'm sorry, that was in Washington, D.C. Los Angeles was the first internet marketing seminar that I went to. I've been to so many seminars, please forgive me. This was November of '05, and my book had been out there, and I knew a couple marketers online, but it was all email, and I didn't really know these people. And who knows Jeff Walker? Jeff Walker is another guy to watch in this industry. He's responsible for the product launch formula, which has been used by hundreds, if not thousands of people to launch their product out there. Anyway, Jeff suggested to me that I go to this conference, and he said, was I supposed to see that? I can't see you guys, so they're back there in the booth. Jeff said, you should go to this conference. So I said, why? I don't know. It's $2,000 to go, and then I got to pay for my travel, and then I'm going to sit and listen to these guys go blah, 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 and then they're going to sell me something. I don't know. And he said, I think you should go. I think it'd be good for you. And I went ahead and registered. This is Armin Morin's big seminar. And the week before, or a few days before, I said to Mary, I don't know if I really want to go to this thing. Who can relate, right? I don't know. She said, I don't know why, but I think you should go. Are you trying to get rid of me? I think you should go. I think it'll be good for you. I went. It was a life-changing experience. I'll just cut right to the chase. I've never been the same. After I went to that conference, my eyes were open to possibilities. I knew that that is the type of place that I wanted to speak. All of a sudden, that vision came back to me, because that vision of speaking, had been dormant for almost 18 years. This is what I want to do. These are the people that I want to interact with. Changed my life. And it's my hope and the hopes of our team that you guys leave here this weekend saying the same thing. That would really bless us. You have to relate to people. What you want to do is make sure you're proactively cultivating friendships with people who share your passions. Who in here is passionate about travel? Raise your hand, please. Look around. Potential joint ventures. Who is interested in health? Raise your hand. Look around. Potential joint ventures. Who's interested in baseball? Yes, Brian back there, right here. Got a few people. Well, we got a joint venture. We got a love connection. The point is, and you're going to have more time as you network with each other, that you want to find people that share your passion, share your heart for whatever your topic is, cultivate that, and build that relationship. And like I told you about my experiences at the conferences, if you're just seeking to get something from people, then you're going to turn people off. You want to be a friend first. You want to bring value. You want to find out, what can I do for you? What's your need? What value can I bring to your life? Oh, and when you ask that question, they just open up. People are like, oh, you're really interested in me? Wow. I might ask you what I can do for you too. Always give first. Be a giver. Provide massive value and don't expect something back immediately. Give things time. Relationships take time. This is the quickest way to receive value. Provide it to another human being first. It's an old principle. Give. It's simple, but we forget. We see opportunity and we want to know what's in it for us. Relate. Number 6, you want to model. When I released my AdSense material, the point was to model for others how to make money with AdSense. When I figured it out for myself, I started going to my friends and associates. I went to Dave Taylor. Dave, a friend, lives here in Boulder. He's a business blogging expert and great guy. And I looked at his site, and he was doing AdSense terribly. And I contacted him, or he contacted me. And what do? I say, here's what you do. He's making a nice 5 figures with AdSense every month. Chris Perillo of Locker Gnome fame. Who knows Chris? Yep, Chris is the geek's geek. Great little guy, tiny little fella, smart. And his site, lockergnome.com, gets thousands and thousands of visitors. And I looked at his site and I thought, this is terrible. You're leaving so much money on the table. And I sent him an instant message telling him so, and he wrote back saying, I don't have time to mess with that right now. I'm doing this. Okay. Next morning, instant message comes from Chris, all capital letters, dude. And I, of course, knew instantly. I just started laughing. He makes so much money with AdSense, and since then he's learned other ways to monetize his site. It's all modeling. Pass on what we know. And, of course, those of you who heard me speak before, I've got no problem teaching everything I know because I've got an abundance mentality. There is so much opportunity out there. I'm not going to hoard it for myself. I want you to go out there and wildly succeed. In your niche, you can crush it. Now, if somebody wants to come along and say that they're the new AdSense expert, that might be a little foolish for them to try, but why not become the king or queen of your arena, to carve out a niche? And we're going to be talking in the future a little bit about defining that niche as well, to make it so that you're unconquerable, that nobody can topple you from being the top of your niche. It's so important to have mentors. Anybody who considers me a mentor, I am so deeply humbled and honored by that. And if you're learning from me, that's so much more significant to me than money. You've got to have mentors. And believe me, I'm not the only guy in town that can teach you stuff. I want to help you as much as I can. But in your niche, your niche might be gardening, in which case you need a mentor out there that's got that uber green thumb that's going to teach you what you need to know to pass on. Your niche might be travel. Well, you better learn everything you can, and that might mean you've got somebody you need to look up to teach you. You have to always have mentors. Now, I teach people how to become a bestseller, whether they get on the New York Times list or not, which is increasingly difficult. I can teach anybody how to become an Amazon bestseller. Anybody. You got to have a book. We'll talk a little bit more about that too. I want to be a bestseller. Have you written anything? No. Everybody's got a book in them, and we're going to talk about that when we discuss how to become an expert in your niche. So now I model that, and I learned that from somebody else. I learned a little bit about how to do this from Joe Vitale. And so, the expression, there's nothing new under the sun. We take what we learn, we apply ourselves to it, we change it a little bit, and if it comes out something new, there's nothing totally original. Everything's somehow a copy of something else, and that's okay. That's why we have models. Nothing new under the sun. Model the processes that work. What's that mean to you? You got to have mentors. It is not an option. Period. Paragraph. End of statement. Got to have mentors. If you don't have one, then figure out, who are the people that I would like to mentor me? Right? Dream big, again, write down the names of the people you want to connect with, that you think I'd really love to learn from this person. If you asked me 5 years ago if I would be speaking on T. Harv Eker and Tony Robbins' stage, I would have said, you're out of your mind. And yet, I decided by intention, that's what I want. These are the guys. This is where I want to be. Got to dream big. Have mentors. And if you do model, you're going to save so much time. If you learn from those who have gone before, the mistakes that you won't have to make. If you choose to, you could ignore I-70 going to Breckenridge, and you go ahead and pack up a mule and a wagon and just make your way through the mountains. Have at it. Make sure that you bring some survival material. But why do it? Unless you're Chris Harper, our producer back there in the room, who actually enjoys going out and hiking to the top of mountaintops and somehow and bikes down. I don't get that. But how do you not have any broken bones? I just don't understand it. Follow those who have gone before. It's a time saver. It's a time leverage. It'll save you money. What? Did you? Nice shot, Dan. Monkey. Yes, the monkey. You know what? To tell you about the monkey, this is not really a key, but people think it should be. Is this mic on? We good? Watch this video. Welcome to the first annual Flying Monkey Office Olympics. Otherwise known as FAMU. The flying monkey stands for all that is good and good with the world. It stands for... You broke him! Oh, we have a casualty already. The event has not even started yet.
You killed your monkey!
He's just stretching.
Disqualified.
Medic stat. In Trash Monkey, contestants will have 3 chances to shoot their monkeys across the room and into a trash can. 2 points will be awarded for each monkey that lands in the trash. point. 2 points.
Bogus.
Lamer. Give yourself 2 points under there.
That's a good shot.
And he's out. Tie. Look at that. Chris, spot on. All right.
He's like he doesn't have a chance. Probably so.
After one event, Jared, Dan, Chris, and myself are tied for first place with 2 points each. Sarah Jane, Melissa, and Joel Ownby are scoreless. In this event, contestants will fire their monkeys into a set of bowling pins. Okay, they're bottles. Points will be given for each pin that's knocked down. This might be easier than we thought. Okay.
Crouch. Any chalk? Monkey crouch.
Monkey crouch.
Pins it in. And strikes are tough.
Wait.
All right. After 2 events, Jared holds a narrow lead over myself and Dan, who are tied for second. Chris is 1 point behind in third, followed by Joel Ownby, Melissa, and Sarah Jane. In the final breathtaking event, contestants will aim to shoot their monkeys farther than their competitors. Points will be awarded for the first 6 places.
Serious business over here.
So we haven't chased you up. That. Wow. Okay.
All right. Oh, I think I've broken it. Nickman.
Go, go. Oh!
For the win. What's up? That's right, I told you. Tailwind. Tailwind is huge. Binary monkey on face.
So after all 3 events, the Flying Monkey Office Olympics comes to a conclusion. The final standings have Jared on top with 19 points, Joel Ownby a close second with 18, and Dan in third with 16 points. The gold medal goes to
Grease lightning.
Grease
Gold. The silver medal goes to Joel Ownby pulling it out in the clutch. And the bronze goes to Dan.
It's one of the proudest ones.
As chairman of the Flying Monkey Office Olympics, I would like to thank the athletes for their participation, for their good sportsmanship, and for not flinging any monkey poo. We'll see you at the next event. 1, 2, 3. Alrighty. The punchline of the woman that was walking across the parking lot, she was interviewing for a sales job with Joey. And she walked out. What you didn't hear her say was, "I want to work here." So what's the point? The point is you got to have fun. Oh boy, some people are just so uptight. You got to have fun in what you're doing. And clearly, we enjoy having a good time. We work hard, and then we play. And, I've even got a video game, an Xbox in the office with Guitar Hero. And everybody is so busy with their work, they don't even stop to go in there and play. So one Friday, everybody wasn't there, but I thought, we got to pull off and do something that's going to blow off some steam. And everybody in the office has a flying monkey, very important. And you could tell from me, I'm an easygoing guy. I like to have fun, and I insist that we do have a good time and have an atmosphere like that. Don't take yourself so seriously. These guys that are up there teaching, and they're the gurus, and they know something you don't, and you should bow down. Nonsense. We're all just regular people. We all got our ups and downs. The monkey should remind you not to take yourself so seriously. Work hard and play hard, and maintain an atmosphere that breeds creativity. I was in a brainstorming meeting earlier this year. I was invited to be part of the process where the guy invited, I don't know, about 20 people to come and help brainstorm his business. And I walked in the room, and it was a U shape with everybody around it. And all over the room, they had lava lamps and those, electric, I don't even know what you call them, and toys, manipulables, Rubik's Cubes and things. They wanted people to be engaged creatively while they're brainstorming because it stimulates your brain. And so we try to have things. That's why if you watch my show on Wednesdays, we have toys. Dan can't stand that we've got toys there. I love the toys. And the monkey has to fly in every episode. It's a given. And you will see the monkey fly tomorrow night. It will happen. All right, whether or not that's a key, right now it's not got a number, it's just monkey. But number 7 is grow. Maybe monkey will be 6.5. Number 7, after you have dreamed, believed, prepared, act, relate, and modeled, you want to grow. It's the whole rinse and repeat concept. When I first started in office, it actually was brought about by my sweet wife, Mary, who when I was working at home for so many years, said to me in total innocent voice, with love in her heart, honey, if you don't leave, I can't miss you. Oh, she meant it. And you know what? It was really good for our relationship when I did go out of the house to start working because I was able to come home and she hadn't seen me all day. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. And I hired my first employee when I was still in Oklahoma, Joel Ownby, who's one of the gentlemen you're going to get to learn from here. Joel is Infomedia #1. And when I hired him, I didn't even know exactly what he was going to do. I just knew that I needed to grow. And I learned that from hearing Rich Sheffrin talk. Anybody know Rich? When I went to a big seminar and Rich spoke, one time he put this diagram, 2 diagrams up on the slide. One of them was an organizational chart. And at the top of the chart, this was the entrepreneur's organizational chart. At the top of the chart, there was the block and it said you. And then line, line, box, box. And in this box was you. And in this box, you. Box, 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 you. And I saw that and I thought, holy cow, that's my org chart. It's all me. And then he really brought it home with his next slide, which had all the different tasks that one needs to do to run a successful business. Graphic design, HTML, buying advertising, doing AdSense, rating content. There was about 80 different circles of tasks. And like a wheel, all of them spoke to the center, and there was you. And I thought, that is insane. Why am I trying to do this all by myself? And I went home and I put an ad in the paper, and Joel came in for an interview, and I said, I'm doing this and this, and honestly, I don't even know exactly what you would do, but we'll figure it out. We figured it out. It took time, but we figured it out. And I've hired and I've hired and I've hired. And now there are 18 of us, I believe. Is that the current count? 18 in our office in Loveland. And it's an amazing thing because you hit a ceiling of what you're able to do, and therefore your income kind of hits that ceiling as well. But if you start bringing in other gifted and talented people to work with you, that ceiling goes up. Yes, your expenses increase, but the potential increases that much more. And on Sunday, when we show you at the final session, we told you we're not only going to show you what we're doing now, but what we're getting ready to do. And I'm going to show you some of the things we're getting ready to do. It's going to blow your mind. And it's only possible because of the fact that we've grown as we have. So be prepared to grow. Again, you're an entrepreneur. Take risks. That's what the employee is all about. If you need to get out of the house, you might find you're more productive. If you need to hire somebody, you're going to find you'll get more done and be more effective at what you do. You want to have the JVs. Almost every successful project that we've done has been a result of a JV of one sort or another. The thing with World Village, with the Japanese firm, that was a joint venture where they were willing to pay me for my content. The Yahoo Games, I partnered with a young programmer in California. He's a master's student at UCSD, and he had a game site, and I said, well, you've got 3 people playing it at one time. I know a little bit about marketing. Let's rebrand it. I'll market it. Let's see what we can do. It was a joint venture. Turned into a 7-figure deal for us. Working with Eric, joint venture, and even bringing on employees to some degree is a joint venture. When I brought Ken back into the company, we're partners now. It's a joint venture. Be willing and on the lookout for those opportunities. And then enjoy the freedom. If you're doing all these things on your own and you're not growing and your company's not growing, you're not seizing these opportunities, it drains you. If you're focusing on things that you don't do well but got to be done anyway, that sucks life out of you. Makes you less effective overall, and it makes it more difficult to focus on the things that you are good at and that you want to do. And if you can free yourself up so that other people are doing those tasks and you're focusing on what you do best, you will do what you do best that much better. Guaranteed. Be willing to grow and then enjoy the freedom that comes from being able to be you. Those are, all right, so here, fire yourself. That's right. You look in the mirror like Donald Trump, you're fired. Come on, try it. You're fired. Fire yourself from doing the things that you don't do well. If you're not passionate about them, if you're not skilled at them, just look in the mirror and say, you're fired. I'm going to find the right person for this. You're fired. I can't do that. You know what else I can't do? The hair. How does he do that? How does he do that? It's amazing. The worst hair money can buy, is it? Yeah, the best hair plugs. So be prepared to outsource, be prepared to hire, be prepared to joint venture. Again, there's going to be fear there, especially if you're doing this on your own. And you're thinking, well, I don't have the money. Okay, then you're going to want a joint venture or partner. Or if you do have some money, but you're thinking, but those are the profits now, take the risk and find somebody that can help you grow more. I love outsourcing. A couple great outsourcing sites. Elance, E-L-A-N-C-E, elance.com. You could outsource just about everything. And I mean everything. If you need writing done, you can get it done. There's so many talented ghostwriters out there. If you need graphic design done, no problem. You need HTML, you need coding done. You need to outsource your accounting because you don't want to do your numbers and balance your statements. You want to outsource an architectural drawing. Whatever it is, you can outsource it on sites like elance.com. And very much like eBay, it's got a feedback system built into it. So people who work with vendors rate them based up to a certain number of stars and leave feedback. Choose people who have good feedback and a track record. And your odds of having a successful outsource are going to dramatically increase. What you want to do is put in place a business structure and a model that's going to grow with you. And that's what we've been doing the last few years, and even more so since Ken has come on board to really structure a business. Because I got to tell you, once he showed me some of the things that he thought we should do, I realized that I was just playing business. I was flying by the seat of my pants when there's actual processes and systems that could be put in place that would make us so much more effective. And I'm excited because you're going to learn those next. So here they are. Say them with me. Dream, believe, prepare, act, relate, model, grow, and monkey. Where is that little guy? There he is right there.